Good morning, everyone. I'm Mary Eliza B. Vergara. So, our topic for today is all about money management. So, what is money management? Money management is one of the most important skills that everyone should know. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't take the time to learn how to manage their finances properly. This can lead to a lot of problems down the road. If you're not careful with your money, you will end up in debt or struggling to make ends meet. So, let's take a look at the importance of managing your money wisely as well as some of the most common financial problems faced by the Filipinos and offer some practical tips on how to solve them. Why is managing money is important in your personal life? So, money management is the process of budgeting, saving, investing, and spending your money in a way that helps you meet your financial goals. So, tinutulungan tayo nito para di tayo magkaroon ng utang and at the same time makapag-save tayo ng money for emergencies. It can lead us to long-term financial goals. So money management is important because it helps you the most of your money and get you where you want to be financially. So it also helps us to prevent financial problems in the future. Understanding budgeting. A budget is a plan you write down to decide how will we spend our money every month. So a budget helps us to make sure that we will have enough money every month. So there are steps in creating budget. Assess your income. To create a personal budget, start by listing your fixed expenses each month like utilities and rent rather, as an expense on the first day of each month along with your expected monthly income. Kaya need nating i-evaluate or i-assess yung income natin for us to know if we can pay for our expenses at the same time makapag-save tayo ng money. Identify expenses. So ito yung mga kailangan nating bayaran every month. So dapat alam natin kung ano yung mga kailangan nating bayaran like our rent, food, transportation, utilities, clothing, medical, entertainment, insurance. Categorize expenses. So, another way to categorize your expenses is by breaking them down into needs, wants, and savings and debts. So, dapat alam natin kung paano natin i-categorize yung money natin para magamit natin yung money natin sa mga importanteng bagay. Set financial goals. So ito yung mga targets natin or objectives na sineset natin for our financial future. So it can be short-term, medium, or long-term financial goals. So alam naman natin kung ano yung mga ito dahil diniscuss na ito nung first reporter natin. Allocate funds. So napaka-importante na alam nating i-allocate yung money natin para alam natin kung saan natin ito gagamitin. Monitor and adjust. So, kailangan naka-monitor lahat yung mga expenses mo. So, for example, last month, masyado kang maraming expenses sa pag-groceries. So, the next month, you should adjust. So, next month, kailangan mo na lang bilhin yung mga importanteng bagay. Strategies for effective budgeting. First is tracking spending. So, dapat, meron kang record ng mga expenses mo para matrack mo kung saan mo ba ini-spend yung yung money mo rather every month. Use budgeting tools. So karamihan naman sa atin marunong tayong gumamit ng Excel. So you can use this as your budgeting tools. So malaking tulong ito para ma-identify natin yung mga expenses natin monthly. Prioritize saving. So napaka-importante na mag-save tayo for our future. At the same time, para may magamit rin tayong money in case of emergency. Plan for irregular expenses. Sabi ko nga kanina, napaka-importante na we need to save money, lalo na kapag meron kang subscription plan. So, example nito is yung grocery service delivery. So, binabayaran ito once a year. And also, you need to save for your car maintenance if meron kayong car. Review regularly. So budgeting allows you to rethink your spending habits and refocus to your financial goals. So, taking a look at your expenses, so napansin mo yung month na to is palagi kang kumakain sa labas, so you will decide na doon ka na lang sa loob ng bahay nyo kumain for you to stop spending too much. So, by reviewing your budget, you can make effective changes as a result. Be flexible. So, dapat ready ka sa mga unexpected expenses. So, dapat magkaroon ka ng emergency fund para may magamit kang money in case of emergency. Common budgeting mistakes. So, first is ignoring small expenses. So, sa pag-i-ignore natin sa mga small expenses natin, nawawalan tayo ng track sa plan natin. And unti-unting naapektuhan yung mga savings natin dahil sa pag-spend natin. Next is underestimating expenses. Kasi naglilid ito to financial instability. Di na nasusunod yung mga budget plan natin. So, naglilid siya into negative outcomes. Next is failing to plan for the future. So, karamihan, hindi sila nagsisave for their future. Basta na lang sila spend ng spend. So, napaka-importanteng magkaroon tayo ng plano and mag-save for our future para may magamit tayo in case of emergency and maiwasan natin magkaroon ng debt. Next is not tracking spending. So, sa hindi mo pag-track ng spending mo, di mo na alam kung saan mo ba nagamit yung money na meron ka. So, napaka-importante na you need to track your spendings. Being too restrictive. So, di rin naman okay na sobrang higpit mo sa sarili mo to the point na di ka na gumagastos para sa sarili mo. So, okay rin naman na gumastos ka para sa sarili mo, bilhin mo yung mga bagay na nakapagpapasaya sa'yo, basta know your limitations. Benefits of budgeting. So, financial awareness. Dapat aware ka palagi sa mga expenses mo and may clear understanding ka sa pagsisave and pagbabudget para ma-achieve mo yung financial goals mo. Debt reduction. So, kapag nagbabudget ka kasi, tinutulungan ka nitong mas i-prioritize na bayaran yung mga debt mo kaysa i-spend mo yung pera mo sa mga bagay na hindi naman importante. Goal achievement. Sa pagbabudget, ma-achieve mo yung goals mo dahil makakapag-ipon ka for your future and mabibili mo yung mga bagay na kailangan mo. Reduce stress. So, syempre, if you have money naman or budget to pay for your bills or expenses, syempre, hindi ka magkakaroon ng utang. And no utang means no stress. Lastly, improve financial health. So, kapag yung budget mo or financial plan mo is on track pa rin, mag-i-improve yung financial health mo. Kasi, ini-spend mo yung money mo sa mga importanteng bagay.
So, my topic is tracking income and expenses. So, the importance of tracking income and expenses, it provides insight into your financial habits and behaviors, helps identify areas of overspending or opportunities for savings, enables better budgeting and financial planning, facilitates informed decision-making and goal setting, increases awareness and accountability for your financial actions. So overall, tracking income and expenses is important for gaining a clear understanding of our financial situation, identifying areas of improvement, and informed decisions to achieve our financial goals. So next is method of tracking. Manual tracking. Recording income and expenses using pen and paper or a spreadsheet. So, dito sa manual tracking, by doing this regularly, individuals can closely monitor their financial transactions and identify areas where they can cut back or save. Next method is automated tracking. Utilizing budgeting apps, software, or online banking tools that automatically categorize transactions. So, here on the automated tracking, This method of tracking, it saves more time and effort by eliminating the need of manual data entry and providing real-time tracking of income and expenses. So next and last method, combination approach. Combining manual and automated tracking methods for greater accuracy and control. So, dito sa combination approach, from the word combination, pinag-combine na yung manual tracking and automated tracking. So, allowing individuals to have a comprehensive view of their finances while also taking advantage of the convenience and efficiency of automated tracking tools. Next is steps to tracking income and expenses. Gather documentation, collect pay stubs, bank statements, receipts, and other financial documents. So, by gathering financial documents, you can create a clear record of your financial transactions and ensure accurate tracking of your income and expenses. Next is categorize transaction. Group income and expenses into categories such as housing, transportation, groceries, utilities, entertainment, and etc. This step helps us identify spending habits and areas where adjustments can be made to improve financial management. So next is record transactions. Log each income and expense transaction including date, amount, category, and description. So dito naman, recording transactions will serve as a detailed account of our financial activities, allowing us to track where our money is coming and where it's being spent. Next is regular review. Regular review your tracking records daily, weekly, or monthly to monitor spending patterns and financial progress. So dito, this step is crucial for identifying any discrepancies, understanding where your money is going, and making adjustments as needed. Last step is adjust as needed. So, make adjustment to your budget or spending habits based on your tracking insights. So by regularly reviewing your tracking records and analyzing your spending habits, we can identify areas where we may need to cut back or make changes to align with our financial goals.
Good morning everyone. I'm Sheila Midji Galapon. So, ang i-discuss ko ngayon is strategies for effective tracking. So, first is the be consistent. Record every income and expense transaction promptly and consistently. So, mahalaga ang pagiging consistent sa pag-record ng bawat income mo at expenses mo. Halimbawa, tuwing mayroon kang bagong kita o nagastos na pera, agad mong i-record sa iyong budgeting system. Pangalawa is the use technology. Leverage budgeting apps or software that streamline the tracking process and provide insight into your financial behavior. Para mapadali ang process ng pag-track ng iyong finances, gumamit ka ng technology. So, maaari kang gumamit ng mga budgeting apps na nagbibigay ng mga tool to understand your financial behavior. So, ang example na maaari mong gamitin na app is You Need a Budget, Money Lover, QuickBooks, and Wallet, at marami pang iba. So, next is set goals. So, establish specific financial goals and track progress towards them using your tracking data. So, halimbawa dito is yung nag-set ka ng goal mo na makapag-ipon para sa gusto mong ipatayong bahay. So, by using tracking data, nakikita mo kung malayo o malapit ka na ba sa goal mo or nakapag-ipon ka na ba para sa ipapatayo mong bahay. Next is analyze trends. Identify trends or patterns in your spending to pinpoint areas for improvement or adjustment. Halimbawa dito is nakita mo na mas mataas ang gastos mo sa pagkain sa labas. So dito mo mapag-aaralan kung ano ang dahilan ng pagtaas ng iyong gastusin sa pagkain sa labas. So maaring dahilan is di ka marunong magluto or panay ang labas nyo ng mga friends mo. So dapat mag-improve ka. So mag-aaral ka na magluto para sa bahay ka na lang kumain. At learn to say no sa mga friend mo if mag-ayaman sila para makatipid ka at makapag-ipon para makamit mo ang iyong financial goals. Next is stay organized. Keep your tracking records organized and easily accessible for reference and analysis. Sa pagiging organized sa iyong pag-track, mas magiging effective ang pag-manage ng iyong finances. At syempre, mas mabilis mong makamit ang iyong mga goal. So, next is be honest. Be honest with yourself about your financial habits and behaviors when tracking income and expenses. Next na i-discuss ko is benefits of tracking income and expenses. Increase awareness. Gain a clearer understanding of where your money is coming from and where it's going. So, dapat alam mo kung saan galing at napupunta ang iyong pera para knows mo ang iyong financial situation. Halimbawa, sa regular na pag-track ng iyong income and expenses, nalalaman mo kung gaano karaming pera ang natatanggap mo every month mula sa iyong work or business. Kasama na rin kung paano mo ginagamit ang pera mo, tulad ng pagbabayad ng bills, pagbili ng groceries, at iba pa. So, dito mas magiging madali para sa iyo na gumawa ng mga desisyon sa iyong finances at magplano para sa iyong future kasi maganda yung cash flow mo. Next is budget optimization. Identify areas of overspending or opportunities for saving to optimize your budget. So, same sa analyze trends lang ito. So, next is financial goal achievement. Use tracking data to allocate resources towards achieving your financial goals. Halimbawa naman dito is gusto mong mag-ipon para sa bibilhin mong sasakyan. Pwede mong gamitin ang iyong tracking data upang malaman kung gaano kalaki ang pera na maaari mong ilaan para rito bawat buwan. Next is reduce stress. Having a clear picture of your finances reduces anxiety and stress related to money management. So, halimbawa, kung alam mo kung saan napupunta ang iyong pera at kung gaano kalaki ang natitirang budget para sa isang buwan, so hindi mo na kailangang mag-alala sa pagkakaroon ng sapat na pera para sa mga pangangailangan o sa mga emergency expenses. So, next is improve financial health. By tracking income and expenses, you can improve your overall financial health and stability. Halimbawa, pag regular na minomonitor mo ang iyong mga gastusin, posible na makita mo kung may mga hindi kinakailangang gastos na maaari mong bawasan o alisin na lang. At gamitin na lang ito upang mag-ipon para sa mga pangangailangan in the future o para makapag-invest ka para kumita ng mas malaki. Pag ginawa mo ito, maganda ang iyong financial health. Last na aking i-discuss is about tools for tracking income and expenses. Budgeting apps. Example include Mint, Enab or You Need a Budget, and Pocket Guard. Next is the spreadsheets templates. The Excel or Google. Sheet templates designed for tracking income and expenses. And next is the online banking tools. Many banks offer online banking platforms with features for categorizing and analyzing transactions. That's all. Thank you.
So the topic that I will be discussing is all about building financial resilience, the importance of emergency funds. So first, what is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is a pool of money set aside to cover unexpected expenses or financial emergencies. So, yung emergency fund, ito yung money na tinabi mo just in case na may unexpected na mangyari. Just like for example, nawalan ka ng trabaho or nagkasakit ka. So, it is very important to have an emergency fund para in times of unexpected events is may mauhugot ka. It serves as a buffer against unforeseen events such as medical emergencies, car repairs, job loss, or home repairs. So parang ito yung magpo-protect sa'yo against unforeseen events or expenses. So pag meron ka kasing emergency fund, it means meron kang reserve funds na makakatulong sa'yo na i-handle yung mga nabanggit kanina na unexpected events. It will also help you na i-mitigate yung impact ng mga events na yon dun sa yung overall financial stability. The purpose of an emergency fund is to provide financial stability and peace of mind during times of uncertainty. So it serves as your financial safety net for unexpected emergency. So, pag meron kang emergency fund, it will give you peace of mind and hindi mo nakakailanganing ma-stress kung saan kukuha ng pera knowing na you have cash to handle emergencies. So, next is the importance of emergency fund. So, first is financial security. Emergency funds provide a safety net, reducing the need to rely on high-interest debt or liquidating assets during emergencies. So, ang sinasabi lang dito is yung emergency fund will serve as your financial safety nets na magproprotect sa'yo from financial shocks and providing also a sense of security. So, for example, nawalan ka ng trabaho due to unexpected events, but through an emergency fund, you can afford your expenses. So, may maasahan ka. A big sign of financial security is having enough emergency savings to cover yourself when times are tough. So, next is peace of mind. Knowing you have funds set aside for unexpected expenses alleviates stress and anxiety about financial uncertainty. So having an emergency fund is what we call strategy in life para when times get tough, you are ready. So magkakaroon ka ng peace of mind knowing na you have a financial backup plan in case of sudden job loss or medical emergencies. This will not only help you cover unexpected expenses, but it will also help you avoid distress and anxiety. Next is avoiding debt. Having an emergency fund can prevent you from going into debt to cover unforeseen expenses, saving you money in interest payments. So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito is, for example, na-short ka sa money or nagkaroon ka ng financial problem, pwede mong gamitin yung emergency fund mo. Hindi mo nakakailanganing isipin kung magkano and kung kanino ka mangungutang, di ba? Tsaka alam naman natin yung struggle pag may utang tayo sa iba, lalo na pag may patong na interest. So, it is very important to have an emergency funds. Next is flexibility. Emergency funds gives you the flexibility to handle unexpected situation without disrupting your long-term financial goals or plans. So, through an emergency fund, you can face unexpected challenges with confidence and maproprotektahan mo rin yung long-term financial well-being mo. So, parang lifesaver yung emergency fund kasi pwede mo siyang magamit anytime, especially for unexpected events. Next is opportunity seizing. With an emergency fund in place, you can seize opportunities such as job changes or investments without financial constraints. So, having an emergency fund, it means na meron kang nakadabing pera for unexpected events. This means na you can take advantage of new job opportunities or investments without worrying about running out of cash. So, it's like having a safety net that gives you freedom to take risks and make positive changes in your life. Next is how much should you save? Financial experts recommend savings 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito is yung emergency fund mo is kaya dapat i-cover yung daily expenses mo for at least half a year in case na may mangyari that prevent you from earning an income. So, when you build your emergency fund, dapat itanong mo sa sarili mo kung enough na ba yun para suportahan yung sarili mo just in case na may mangyari sa family mo and for yourself also. Consider factors such as your income stability, expenses, job security, and lifestyle when determining the appropriate amount. So by assessing these factors, it will help to create a saving plans na naka-align sa iyong financial situation and goals. So by carefully evaluating these factors, you can ensure na you are saving enough to maintain financial stability and ma-achieve mo rin yung objectives mo. Start by aiming for a smaller goal, such as 1 month's worth of expenses, and gradually build from there. So you can start saving small, then kapag nakaluwag-luwag ka na, pwede mo na siyang increase as you become more comfortable with savings and para ma-improve mo rin yung financial situations mo.
Building of emergency fund is kailangan natin mag-set ng goal kasi dito natin madedetermine yung target amount na gusto nating isave for your emergency fund based on your expenses and financial situation. Ang pagsisetting ng goal in building an emergency fund ay important step towards financial stability and peace of mind ng individual. Having a well-funded emergency fund pwedeng mag-provide siya ng sense of security and financial stability during unexpected situation. Number 2 is create a budget. By creating and sticking to a budget, you can effectively manage your finances and allocate funds towards building your emergency fund. Nagpro-provide siya ng clear roadmap for your spending habits and nakakatulong siya for prioritizing savings for unexpected expenses. Remember, consistency and discipline are key to successful building an emergency fund. Automate savings. Automating savings is powerful for building an emergency fund. By setting up automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings account, you can consistently contribute sa emergency fund without relying on manual effort. It's essential ito para sa regular review, your savings progress, adjust to automated transfer if needed, and continue to contribute as much as possible within your financial means. Cut expenses. Remember, cutting expenses doesn't mean completely depriving yourself of enjoyment or necessities. It's about finding a balance and making intentional choices to prioritize your financial goals. By cutting back on unnecessary expenses, pwede niyang ma-accelerate your emergency fund growth and maging better prepared para sa unexpected financial challenges. Supplement income. Remember, supplementing income requires dedication, time management, and sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone. Important rin siya to find a balance between your primary income, side hustle, and personal commitments. By actively seeking additional income streams, pwede rin siya i-accelerate your emergency fund growth and enhance your financial security. Punta naman tayo sa managing your emergency fund. Number 1, keep it liquid. To effectively manage an emergency fund ay importante siya to prioritize liquidity. This means that the funds should be easily accessible and not tied up in a long-term investment or assets that are difficult to convert into cash quickly. Ang purpose rin niya is having a liquid emergency fund na nagpro-provide siya ng immediate financial relief when unexpected expenses arise and pwede rin maging better prepared to handle unforeseen expenses na kahit walang compromising your overall financial stability. Only used for emergencies. Siyempre, i-reserve natin yung mga funds para sa mga unexpected emergencies such as medical expenses, major car repairs, or job loss. In managing an emergency fund, the principles of only use for emergencies refers to the practice of reserving the funds solely for genuine emergencies. It involves maintaining discipline and using the funds responsibly to ensure that they are not accessed for non-essential or discretionary expenses at dito pwede nating ma-maintain financial stability and peace of mind of individual. Replenish after use. Remember, ito yung susi to successfully replenishing your emergency fund is consistency and discipline. By actively working toward restoring the fund to its original level, pwede rin ma-regain the financial security and maging better prepared for any future unexpected expenses. Lastly, the periodic review. By conducting regular periodic reviews of emergency fund, pwede rin ma-ensure that it remains aligned with your financial goals and nagpro-provide siya ng necessary financial security during unexpected events. Adjustment made during these reviews na makakatulong siya sa maintenance and healthy and effective emergency fund. So, ang emergency fund is critically component siya ng financial planning na nagpro-provide siya ng stability, security during uncertain times. By setting a saving goals, creating a budget, and consistently contributing to your emergency fund na makakabuild tayo ng financial resilience and protect yourself for unexpected expenses.
Hello everyone, I am Marjorie Caranto, the next presenter. I'm assigned to discuss about the importance of savings and strategies for effective savings. So first, we discuss about the 5 importance of savings. First, financial security. Saving money is crucial for financial security, as it creates a safety net for unexpected expenses or emergencies, ultimately reducing reference on debt and promoting stability. Next is wealth building. Regular saving and inspecting are key to building wealth over time, leveraging the power of compounding and asset accumulation for long-term financial growth. Next is the goal achievement. Saving money empowers individuals to achieve various financial goals, including purchasing a home, funding educations, and retiring comfortably. Next is the flexibility. Having savings provide the flexibility to seize opportunities, weather financial setbacks, and navigate life transition with confidence. And the last is peace of mind. Having savings set aside produces peace of mind and reduces stress about financial uncertainty, allowing for a greater sense of security and stability. We proceed to the strategies for effective savings. First, set clear goals. Setting clear financial goals are establishing a timeline for achieving them provides motivation and direction for your saving efforts, ultimately helping you stay focused and accountable. Next is pay yourself first. Paying yourself first by prioritizing automatic transfer to your savings account as soon as you receive income is a great way to ensure consistent and disciplined saving habits. This approach helps you to build your saving without relying on leftover funds at the end of the month. Next is create a budget. Creating a budget that aligns with your financial goals and includes a dedicated saving category is essential for tracking your progress and ensuring that you allocate funds towards your savings goals. This helps you to stay on track and make informed financial decisions. Next is the track expenses. Monitoring your spending habits and identifying areas where you can cut back or reduce discretionary expenses is a great way to increase your savings rate. This practice allows you to allocate more funds towards your savings goals and build a stronger financial foundations. Next is establish emergency funds. Establishing an emergency fund is crucial for financial stability. It helps cover unexpected expenses and prevents the need to dip into long-term savings for short-term needs, providing a safety net for unforeseen circumstances. Experts often recommend saving 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in an emergency fund. Next is maximize retirement contribution. Maximizing contributions to retirement accounts such as 401 or IRAs is a smart way to take advantage of tax benefits and employers' matches, which can significantly boost long-term savings growth. It's a proactive step towards securing a financially stable retirement. Next is the automate savings. Automating your savings by setting up automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings or investments accounts is a great way to ensure consistent saving without relying solely on willpower. This approach helps make saving a regular and effortless part of your financial routine. And the last is increase income. Exploring opportunities to increase your income through career advancement, side hustle, or passive income streams can significantly boost your savings potential. By diversifying your income sources, you can accelerate your progress towards achieving your financial goals.
The power of compound interest. Start early, begin saving as soon as possible to take advantage of the long-term benefits. Compound interest. When you're starting early, your money has more time to grow, benefiting from multiple compounding cycle. Even if you can invest a small amount initially, the cumulative effect of compounding can turn those small contribute into substantial sum over the long term. Be consistent. Make saving a habit by setting up regularly saving routine and sticking to it even during challenging time. How you can make a saving money a habit? Pay your bills on the time and pay more than the minimum amount. Stay disciplined. Avoid the temptation to dip into your saving for non-essential purchase and maintain focus on your long-term financial goals. If you really want to benefit from the power of compounding and grow your wealth so that you can achieve your financial goal, review and adjust. Regularly review your saving goals and progress and make adjustments as needed to stay on track. Example this one. Regularly reviewing your finances, whether monthly or quarterly. Celebrate milestone, acknowledge and celebrate your saving achievement to stay motivated and reinforce positive financial behavior. How should you celebrate a milestone goal achievement? First one, offer extra holiday. Give a gift and treat yourself. Conclusion. Saving money is a powerful financial tool can lead wealth accumulation, financial security, and greater peace of mind. By implementing effective saving strategies, harnessing the power of compound interest, and staying disciplined in your saving habit, you can achieve your financial goal and build a better financial future.
Good day, everyone. My topic is all about building your emergency fund, a strong foundation for financial security. So, in today's unpredictable economic changes, financial security is more important than ever. In this topic, we will discover the importance of this financial cushion, learn effective strategies for saving, and understand how an emergency fund provides you peace of mind in uncertain times. Let's navigate the path to financial resilience together. Understanding the importance of an emergency funds. First is financial security. Alam naman natin ang financial security is an emergency funds. So, reducing reliance on debt and preventing financial crisis means having enough saving to your emergency fund. It will cover your unexpected expenses without having borrow money, then helps you avoid accumulating high interest debt. Second is peace of mind. So, we all know naman na kapag mayroon tayong emergency fund, nagkakaroon tayo ng peace of mind dahil hindi na natin problemahin kung saan tayo kukuha kasi mayroon lang nakatabi para sa iyong pangangailangan. And then, avoiding debt. So, dito naman is having an emergency funds is na-avoid mo yung interest. So, kapag kasi wala kang emergency funds, mangungutang ka, then yung sa pag-uutangan mo dahil alam niyang kailangan mo is tataasan niya yung interest ng uutangin mo dahil alam niyang i-grab mo yun kasi need mo nga talaga. So, kapag may emergency funds ka, ma-avoid mo yung high interest debt. Then, fourth is flexibility. Let's say, for example, you've been diligently saving for a house, then suddenly your car breaks and need expensive repair. Without an emergency funds, mahuhugot mo yung savings mo para sa bahay, pamparepair lang ng iyong car. That can cause delaying your home purchase and disrupting your long-term plans. However, if you have an emergency funds, you can cover the car repair without affecting your saving goal. In this situation, flexibility allows you to address unexpected expenses or situation. Fifth is opportunity seizing. So let's say, for example, you have a great opportunity to pursue further education to that could significantly advance your career. Without an emergency funds, you might hesitate to take it because of financial concern. However, if you have an emergency funds, you can seize this opportunity without worrying any financial constraints.
I am Precious May Paulo. I will be discussing the last part of our topic, exploring saving accounts and alternative saving options in the Philippines. Traditional saving accounts in the Philippines. Number one, basic saving accounts offered by banks and financial institutions with low or no maintaining balance requirements and minimal fees. For example, this one, the short-term goal. Example, emergency funds or house repair funds like that. The second one, passbook saving accounts. Provide a passbook for recording transaction and typically other higher interest rates than basic saving accounts. Ito yung maliit na book na dito lang lahat nakikita yung mga records kapag nagwi-withdraw ka or nag-deposit ka. Dito makikita lahat ng mga balances mo. The last one, time deposit account. Similar to certificate of deposit or CDs in the other countries. Time deposit, offer fixed interest rate for a specific period ranging from 30 days to several years. Kagaya nito ay yung friend ko, namatay yung papa niya noon, tapos yung mga tita niya, nag-open sila ng bank for her. Pero minor pa siya noon. Tapos ang pinan ng mga tita niya, kapag nag-18 siya, dun niya lang makukuha yung pera na dineposit nila doon. High yield accounts. Number one, high interest saving accounts offered by some banks and digital banking platform with competitive interest rate higher than traditional saving accounts. Mas mataas yung rates ng high yields kesa sa traditional saving. Traditional saving accounts. Number two, online saving accounts provided by digital banks and financial technology or fintech companies, offering convenience and often higher interest rates due to lower overhead costs. For example neto is through GCash, papunta sa bank account mo without going to bank na mapipila ka pa, ganon. Mas kwan na yung online banking account na ganito, na makaka-deposit ka kahit di ka pumupunta mismo sa bangko. Alternative saving option in the Philippines. Number one, cooperative saving. Joining cooperatives or co-ops allows members to save and borrow money collectively with profits shared among the member. Yung mga members dito na mga nag-cooperative dito ay pwede silang maghiraman ng pera sa savings na ito. Number two, Pag-ibig Fund. The Home Development Mutual Fund or Pag-ibig Fund offers voluntary saving programs providing an opportunity to save for future needs such as housing loans, calamity loans, and retirement benefits. Pwede ka ditong mag-loan ng kung membership ka ng ganito, pwede ka mag-loan kapag nabagyo ka, ganon. Or magpapatayo ka ng bahay, pwede kang mag-loan dito. Number 3, Government Savings Program. The Philippine government offers various saving programs including the Modified Pag-ibig 2 Savings Program and Personal Equity and Retirement Account or what we call the PERA and the other one providing tax advantages for retirement savings. Number 4, microfinance institution. Participating in microfinance programs offered by MFIs provides access to savings and credit services tailored to the needs of low-income individuals and communities. Factors to consider in choosing saving accounts and alternatives. Interest rate compares interest rates offered by different saving accounts and alternatives to maximize earning on savings. Accessibility. Considered accessibility factors such as branch location, online banking services, and ease of transaction. Fees and charges. Evaluate fees and charges associated with maintaining accounts, withdrawals, and other transactions to minimize costs. Security. Ensure that saving accounts and alternatives are regulated and insured by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or other governmenting bodies to protect deposits. Dito ay sinisigurado nilang maprotektado ang iyong mga dinedeposit na pera. Goals and needs. Align your choice of saving accounts and alternative with your financial goals, risk tolerance, and liquidity needs.